I feel like him. And hello, it's Vo, and welcome back to Turbine City. Last time we were destroying one of our previous saves, totally wrecking the city, trying to unlock all our unique buildings, so then eventually we can go on and place our monuments in our big city. We can see that the town is falling apart. We've got little icons coming up all over the place for rubbish and police services that we've removed. So everything's going nicely, and the fact that it's going terrible. We do seem to be suffering a little lack of power. We'll get that turned up for them. Once we've unlocked all the things we need to unlock, we can give them their services back, because the population will disappear rather rapidly. When everything's going wrong, nobody really wants to come to the city. It does help with our percentages. If we're trying to get half the population, in poor health or with poor services, it'll be easier with a smaller amount of people. Just so we don't run out of cash, we're going to place a couple of generators, cash generators. And we start placing the buildings that we unlock. And then at the end we'll save it. And as long as that saves in our list of saves, all the things that are unlocked will be shared across all the saves. So when we get back into our big city, we'll be able to place any of these buildings. Not quite sure which ones we've unlocked, need to unlock, or we had available to us, so to be sure, I guess sort of place them all, room allowing. Looks like we're short of water as well. I want to turn that up a little bit. But we'll generally get everything placed in. Okay, it's saved. We're down to just a few thousand inhabitants now. One of the things we want is unemployment to be up, so we might de-zone some of the commercial and industrial rather than having it all still here. Most of it's abandoned anyway. If we de-zone this, then there'll be less workplaces, which will mean when people do come back in, and the population that remains, there'll be nowhere for them to work, so the unemployment rate will naturally increase. Still got to get up to 50%, so we'll encourage people in, we'll give them back some of the services. Now that we've hit our low health target, we can give them their full budget back. We'll try and bring it back from the edge once we've got everything as wrecked as we need to. We're almost there with our unemployment. Get this unlocked, get it placed. Might be the case that when we hit it, we've got to maintain it for 5 weeks. Bit of a pain. But we've racked up plenty of money, and our population is increasing again. We need a park maintenance building. Still not sure where that is. It's maybe in one of these menus. I think there's so many menus nowadays. Here we go, park maintenance building. We'll get one of these placed, that'll help us unlock things as well. At least we know where it is in the menus now, so when we get back to the big city we can pop one of those in, or maybe a couple. We do have a few custom parks and normal parks in the city that could use it. Get a clock tower in. That's something we'll want to place when we get back to the big city as well. So we've almost placed everything that we can place. Some things we really need to do in the big city. Other things we maybe need to choose a later save where we've got more things unlocked to us from the milestones, rather than going back so far all the way to 8,500 people. I think we've done everything we can at this stage. And the buildings we've unlocked should keep us going for a while. We'll save this version. Perhaps it's just a wrecked version of itself. Then when we get back into the main city, we'll see that all the things that we've unlocked in our little side mission there will be unlocked to us. And we can now place the unique buildings. So we can get Lazaret Plaza in somewhere. Maybe put it up next to the hospital, since it is a health related statue. I think oh, nice up here in Hospital Park. Maybe fill this little bit in here. No point in having free squares. I'm gonna move some of these water pumps and outflow pipes. Give us a little more room around this ferry terminal. Maybe get something placed in here. Maybe the first one off, the Mall of Moderation. We'll see where we can get that placed. I think there's some underground power lines along here, so maybe try it somewhere else. Yeah, it's in the front here. Seems quite central. It's not too bad a placement. Could pop the clock tower in this corner. Yeah, it's far enough away from the residential. Be okay for the noise if we pop it in this corner. So we need another public library. Get one in here. Then we need 300 users to go to the libraries altogether. They've moved the goalpost on us. There's a workshop item. A nightclub. So again, as long as we keep it away from the residential, it's fine to pop it in here as well. Let's try and find places for these park maintenance buildings now we know where they are. They don't produce any noise, so we're able to pop them in where we like, really. They are quite chunky, so where space allows us. Not sure what sort of radius they have. We'll get a few popped in around the city. Any coverage is better than no coverage, for sure. One of the things we need to do as well is place a ferry stop, rather than having a ferry terminal. Just a smaller ferry stop. So we need to place one of these. That unlocks another building for us. We'll get this placed in and then get it connected up with the road. And bring this one out so it falls in line. Get this on the go. I like the Colossal Order Offices. It's quite a nice asset. Get that popped in up here. Since we've got offices and industrial and things round about. Get rid of some of these underground power cables. That'll give us a little more room. Lay in a few roads. And build up the area a little bit more. Our population is still increasing, but it's going very slowly. Seems to be hanging around this 140k. Make sure our power is connected up. We'll carry it across here in this little gap. Make sure everything stays connected. That'll give us a little more room to go in and finish off putting in more roads. So we get in more zoning when we need it. Give this area a little bit more of a finished look. We need more tourism and entertainment specialization, commercial buildings soon anyway, so this will probably be the best place to put them in this area. It's not quite straight. Has to be done. Extend this out a little bit. Fiddly little connection. The noses are so almost aligned, but not quite. Let's try this. Yeah, it's acceptable. Oh, the academic report is through. We're still losing students. But oh well, we're still making money, we've still got people coming into the city. Surely they'll all need somewhere to study. Maybe just fluctuates with the average age of the population in the city. Another thing we need to set up is walking tours. We need 5,000 meters walked by tourists to unlock a few more of our unique buildings. So we could just set them up like bus stops. I don't think I've ever set up walking tours before. I presume by the way our unique buildings are highlighted, we want to make stops that are near the unique buildings. Points of interest where people will want to come and visit. We can get one clockwise and anti-clockwise, just like we do everything else. Maybe set up another one here around Hospital Park. It can let us go through the park. I suppose that means they get charged extra because they're having to pay the park admission as well. They come down to the riverside, go to the piers, and then come back round. I don't think we need to go both ways with that line. Make another one covering the university area. Got a few things around here that are worth seeing. Let's try and find a route that can take them round in a bit of a circle. Don't want them to have to walk for miles and miles. I suppose it might help the fitness if they have to go around a big walk. I don't think tourists are going to be too interested in a massive loop. So we'll try and keep it short and relatively straightforward as possible. I do want to try and include the varsity sports buildings, so maybe come down the middle. Get it back round and connect it up to complete a loop. Does seem like a slightly long walk though. I'll get one coming back the other way. Come on the other side of the road here to take in these other stadiums. And sort of match up points where the attraction is only on one side of the road. Should have been on this side on the way round with the other way with the other line. Oh well, we'll get it completed up. It's only for the sake of trying to get these 5,000 meters walked by tourists, because that unlocks another one of our unique buildings. Maybe get another one round here. Taking us perhaps through the zoo from the mall. Oh yeah, we could stop right by the elephants. Our super important elephants. Star attraction of our city. This can take all the tourists, make sure they always see the elephants. A nice sort of plaza park area around here. I think that's the winter market. Stop there. Again, I don't want to make this one too long. Perhaps just as long as the other one. Once it's taken in the train station, See if we can just complete the line from here. Go around the block first, so we can come back around and complete the loop. Stop here, it'll force it around this way and we can complete the line. Yeah, it's got little icons on it. That might mean it doesn't like the length of the line. It thinks we're making them walk too far. I want to put in a hot air balloon, take them over the zoo, the football stadium. Just means destroying a couple of buildings here. It's not the end of the world. If we move things around here, we can maybe get another hot air balloon station in. Few smaller buildings like the post office that we can move to other free areas round about. Move this garbage incinerator as well. Now we can maybe extend that small road. Get the hot air balloon from there. And it's far enough away from the residential that hopefully it's they're not going to be bothered by it. Another way to see the varsity sports buildings by hot air balloon. It's much like the blimps, it's a bit of a novelty, but something a bit different. So our population is steadily increasing, slowly but surely. So we'll give them some more housing ideas, zoning suggestions. Looks like we've gone all the way up onto the other side of the main road up here. Maybe we want to do the same on the other side, or neither. I want to sort of de-zone all along there and change it for some commercial or offices. Don't think we can 100% rely on the trees and the sound barriers. It's better safe than sorry. Few more of these paths put in. Try and help keep traffic off the roads. Get a little bit more zoning in. One thing that we did want to do is get some of our alternative districts in, like our energy saving houses and our organic produce commercial. Take a big chunk of what we've already made and change it so it's got organic and local produce, and then energy saving buildings, residential buildings, self-sufficient buildings, that's what they're called. So if we change this area, it means it's going to destroy all the houses basically. Everyone has to move out, but they'll have nice new places to move into that are more efficient. Gives them more of an option of what type of building they would like to live in or set up a business in. Maybe do another area with the same thing here. To unlock some of our unique buildings, we need to get a fair amount of each. And it'll also add some variety to the buildings in our city. Hopefully it'll be a kind of smooth transition, where the new houses are getting built in, and it's easy for them to move out of their old houses into new ones. Only takes the time to build the new building. That's not long in Skylines. We seem to be losing quite a few people in the transition, but I'm sure they'll be back. Change Franklin Square over to Zilla Square. Especially fit in with the eye monster there. And Willow Park, we'll get that changed. Change that to Strand Park. Pearl Park, we'll get that changed. Get that changed to Lena Park. I think our walking tour line that's too long, I think we can just delete it. People are using them, so eventually we'll get our 5,000 meters we need. It's an added challenge trying to do these little side missions. Keeps us going after we've gone past the end, past the last milestone. While we're here next to the zoo, we never did put in our lions and our rhinos, so we'll get them in. Get paths hooked up to them. Decorate with a few of the smaller buildings and things. I don't think we need to try and cram absolutely every animal enclosure into here. Our first zoo's pretty packed, so I think we can leave this one a little bit more open. Keep it simple just now, I think. We'll get a few plazas in here. Always come back and add more things in when we want. Pretty sure it'll level up to 5 stars on its own. Probably got enough in it as it is. We'll leave a little room in case we want to add something in later on. Our industry area still looks like a bit of a mess. Get electricity turned up a little bit, so it looks like there's a slight shortage over in Zilla Square. Still seems to be a shortage. Could be that it's just not connected between the buildings. Maybe with the new buildings coming in, they've just chosen to build from the wrong end. Yeah, that's exactly right. We'll add in a couple of power lines for them. Make it easy for them to expand from wherever they want to. Hopefully they'll all be back sooner rather than later. I think we just need to give them a little time. They're certainly taking their time. And use the opportunity to add a few parks in. So if people do move back into their old street, they can see that it is in fact renovated and updated. A few little things here and there just to fill up spaces. Maybe use the tennis court. Don't think we've used that yet. We've got two, so we might want to put one on the side. Then try and get another one sort of symmetrically opposite it. Have this one on the other side. Or up the top maybe. Just a few little things. Put in another fun park. There's so many parks on the workshop that we'll never run out of unique parks to pop in if we want to. Could always keep going on and downloading more and more, but I think after a while with too many custom assets, it does make your game run a little slower. Looks like our population is returning. Looks like people are coming back in. They've got over the shock of being kicked out. Maybe change this, because these warehouses are full. Maybe change this one back to plastics from commercial goods. We're obviously making so many commercial goods, but we're keeping a hold of a lot of them in the warehouses there. Maybe add another one or two warehouses in around this area. Trying to help a little bit. Have that one for commercial goods, because it's closer to the city. Maybe we want to place warehouses throughout the city, just to act as sort of relay stations for the goods if we get another problem with commercial areas saying they're not getting enough goods. We'll leave it here for today. I think we've caused enough damage and destruction for one day. Join us next time to see if the city fully heals up. Until then, take it easy, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.